Faith versus doubt. Faith and doubt, two seemingly opposing forces, profoundly shape the lens through which we perceive the world. Yet, when we peel back the layers of our consciousness, we see that much of our reality is constructed on faith. This faith manifests not in the religious sense, but rather in the acceptance of certain axioms and fundamental principles of existence that we seldom question. These foundational beliefs, whether it concerns the nature of reality or the certainty of our senses, could transform in an instant. But without ceaselessly testing and verifying them, how can we truly hold any assurance in their permanence? Even those who proclaim total objectivity, who scrutinize and question everything, are not exempt from this foundational faith. Beneath their skepticism lies a tacit acceptance, a belief that what they perceive as reality is not merely a dream, that their instruments of measure are reliable, and that the conclusions they derive from their observations are valid. This unconscious reliance on faith underscores all human understanding, regardless of our tendency to foreground doubt as the mainstay of rational thought. Thus, faith and doubt are not as diametrically opposed as they seem, but rather, they coexist in a complex dance that shapes our perception of reality. The grand tapestry of knowledge that humanity has woven relies heavily on the threads of collective understanding. Many truths about the world we accept without ever personally verifying them. Instead, we lean on the discoveries of others and on universally acknowledged facts. This trust in shared knowledge inherently intertwines with our daily lives. It's a form of faith in the reliability of others' experiences and the scientific method's validity that underlies all accepted truths. Doubt, the counterbalance to this faith, should ideally impel us to verify everything independently. However, this is practically unfeasible. The limitations of independent verification become most apparent in situations of extreme risk, such as verifying the toxicity of poison. Such verification would invariably lead to a tragic outcome, making it an unfeasible and undesirable endeavor. Therefore, we, as individuals and societies, must necessarily place our faith in shared knowledge, and, by extension, in each other. This highlights the delicate, yet vital, interplay of faith and doubt in constructing our understanding of the world around us, illustrating that our collective wisdom is indeed a patchwork of faith, verified truths, and justifiable skepticism. In the vast theater of existence, we often play our parts by following the script provided by collective wisdom. Numerous assertions about the world are accepted without direct investigation, a phenomenon rooted in our reliance on others and a body of knowledge recognized as universally valid. We perform a silent act of faith every time we utilize a piece of information without individually verifying its authenticity. Doubt, in contrast, should prompt us to question and inspect every claim ourselves. Yet, the reality of our existence makes such exhaustive scrutiny an impractical venture. Consider, for instance, the lethal proposition of ascertaining the toxicity of poison through personal experience. This daunting task underscores the impracticability and danger of personally verifying every piece of information. It is in these instances that we become acutely aware of the necessity of faith in the shared pool of knowledge, highlighting the delicate equilibrium that exists between faith and doubt. We navigate through our lives relying on this intricate dance, giving credence to a symbiosis of shared understanding, personal faith, and justifiable skepticism. In our quest for understanding, we frequently overlook the inherent contradiction between faith and doubt as we grapple with objective research methodologies, reasonable skepticism, and other familiar concepts. This forgetfulness might seem trivial, but it runs deep, subtly influencing our approach towards knowledge acquisition. Yet, we must acknowledge that the human condition leaves us with little choice but to accept many things on faith. Our reliance on this tacit acceptance is profound, forming the bedrock of our comprehension of the world. However, this reliance on faith often leads even the most inquisitive and skeptical amongst us astray. This paradox, where faith both enables our understanding and can lead us into error, underlines the nuanced relationship between faith and doubt. It is a testament to our intricate human nature, one that yearns for knowledge yet must navigate through a reality interspersed with unverifiable truths, creating an interplay where faith and doubt coexist, challenge, and even complement each other. In the vast panorama of human knowledge, the boundaries between truth and falsehood can become remarkably blurred. The fascinating aspect of any claim, however erroneous, is that when placed within a particular context, it can partially resonate with truth or, at the very least, make sense. This fluidity of veracity complicates our ability to discern when we are accepting things on faith alone versus when we have critically examined a concept, cast our doubts upon it, and then ultimately accepted the resulting conclusions. Indeed, the irony is thick with nuance. The same process that bolsters our faith, rigorous scrutiny and the acceptance of its results, can also lead us to espouse falsehoods. We are, in essence, always accepting things on faith, whether they have been critically analyzed or not. This forms an intriguing paradox within the dialectic of faith and doubt, a recognition that provokes contemplation, and perhaps, a hint of melancholy. This delicate dance underscores our constant negotiation between faith and doubt, painting a poignant picture of the human quest for understanding and certainty. The idea of faith, in its most profound sense, arises from our intrinsic limitations as human beings to directly verify every nugget of knowledge that we encounter. It is a philosophical paradox, as it were. Would we need faith if we could personally validate every fact, every theorem, every hypothesis? In such an alternate reality, faith may become redundant, replaced entirely by empirical scrutiny. But in our world, with our finite lifespans and cognitive boundaries, faith emerges as an essential bridge to traverse the chasm between the known and the unknown. The degree of our faith, moreover, fluctuates based on the source of the information. For example, one might have a deeper sense of trust in the findings presented by the scientific community compared to an internet source. This trust in science is often grounded in the rigorous methodologies and peer review systems that underpin it. On the contrary, the amorphous world of the internet, teeming with misinformation and unverified claims, tends to arouse skepticism. Thus, in our contemporary world, the battle between faith and doubt is not merely a philosophical quandary but is intrinsically linked to the realities of our information landscape. The adage doubt is the key to knowledge provokes an intriguing conundrum. If we indeed follow this axiom faithfully, doesn't it risk turning us into perpetual skeptics? Embracing doubt as our constant companion, we may continually probe, dissect, and question every idea or concept we encounter. While such skepticism undeniably fosters a dynamic intellectual environment, it also poses the danger of blurring the line between healthy skepticism and a crippling state of indecision. This leads us to another compelling quandary. Does an objective reality even exist, or is our understanding of the world essentially based on faith? If we concede that all our knowledge is faith-based, the concept of an objective reality seems almost illusory. However, it might be more plausible to assert that objective reality and faith-based understanding are not mutually exclusive, but rather intertwined. In our relentless quest for truth, we grapple with the duality of faith and doubt, weaving together an intricate tapestry of knowledge that encapsulates both our shared experiences and individual perspectives. Within the variety of the scientific method, faith may seem like an anomaly, yet it does hold a distinct position. Faith, in this context, isn't about spiritual beliefs or the acceptance of unproven ideas, rather, it is the trust in the validity of the scientific process itself. Scientists maintain faith in the replicability of experiments, the rigor of peer review systems, and the tenets of logic and reason. This faith doesn't undermine the objective pursuit of knowledge, instead, it serves as the bedrock, offering stability in the quest for unraveling nature's mysteries. Now, imagine a world where faith is replaced entirely by doubt. This transition would create a landscape of chronic skepticism, where every piece of information would constantly be under rigorous scrutiny. While this might fuel an unprecedented push towards truth and transparency, it could also potentially lead to social discord and a paralysis of decision-making, as consensus on any subject might become an uphill battle. Consequently, in the delicate interplay between faith and doubt, balance is key. They are complementary forces that collectively shape our lives and society, each adding a unique dimension to our pursuit of truth and understanding. In an era where data and information are at our fingertips, one might wonder about the relevance of faith. Yet, despite this deluge of information, faith retains a significant role. It aids us in processing overwhelming amounts of data, allowing us to accept certain facts and navigate the labyrinth of life. It's not merely about accepting spiritual or religious ideologies, but also about placing trust in societal structures, scientific paradigms, and interpersonal relationships. However, this reliance on faith raises a challenging question. Does accepting things on faith reflect a form of laziness, a reluctance to independently verify everything? While it may seem so on the surface, this interpretation oversimplifies the complex dynamics at play. Complete verification of all things is practically impossible given our cognitive limitations and the finite nature of our lives. Thus, faith becomes a necessity, a pragmatic response to our limitations. The central question for humans then isn't whether to believe or to doubt, but rather how to find a balance between these two forces. This intersection of faith and doubt plays a pivotal role in shaping our identities and worldviews. It molds our perceptions, guides our actions, and fundamentally influences how we understand ourselves in relation to the world around us. It is the crucible in which our individual identities are forged and our perspectives on the world are formed. Navigating the complexities of contemporary life requires us to strike a delicate balance between faith and doubt. Despite our access to vast amounts of information, faith remains an essential tool, helping us manage the overwhelming volume of data and make sense of our world. It goes beyond religious beliefs to encompass trust in societal structures, scientific principles, and personal relationships. Yet, faith should not be seen as a form of laziness, an easy way out from doing our due diligence. Instead, it serves as a practical solution to our human limitations and the impossibility of personally verifying every piece of knowledge we encounter. Crucially, the interplay of faith and doubt shapes our identity and worldview. They aren't opposing forces, but two sides of the same coin. The challenge for each of us lies in finding the right balance, a task that is central to our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.